cause, Western Sahara, it's one of the most forgotten conflict in the media. Sahrawis often are not allowed into international platforms. It's very hard for Sahrawis to access places where they are supposed to be politically. So it's very important to do documentation, such as, for example, the report that Yakuta has presented. Second, why the documentation via art or even lawyers' report is important in Sahrawi? It's specifically because Sahrawis, we have an oral culture. We are a Bedouin society with oral culture. Traditionally, we don't write. Sahrawis convey their culture, their identity via art, via poetry, via music. And that's something very specific to Sahrawi. But it's often in Hassaniya, and Hassaniya that limits our outreach to people around the world. Yet, I think Sahrawis, no one ever can present Sahrawis as terrorists or as violent. Sahrawis are a great example of using peaceful struggle, are a great example of using art, of using our own voices, our own textile, and we have a great example. For example, in the Sahrawi refugee camps, we have a film festival, and that's a place not only for you to come and to see the suffering, but it's also a place for you to see who the Sahrawis are in their best element. So thanks to movies that more people will come to the refugee camps, not necessarily because of the political issue, but because of art. Have you ever thought, like, people in sport, do they really care about politics? And that's in the refugee camps. We also have the Sahara Marathon, which lets people come to the Sahrawi refugee camps. Sultana and Al-Ghalia and everyone and Yaquz's report, we have the media blockage in Western Sahara. It's almost impossible to access the territory of Western Sahara. Yet, when activists and artists and journalists travel to the occupied territories of Western Sahara, that's the only time where international media actually pick up the question of Western Sahara. And I want to speak about something. You know, today social media, TikTok, everywhere, and it's a positive thing for people living in occupied Western Sahara. There is no media freedom of expression, so Sahrawis, they use social media to convey their message. Yet, social media also has been very negative for Sahrawi activists. Sultana has mentioned how her family has been attacked, and that's often will happen. There are some websites, Moroccan websites, that are only specific to attack activists and human rights defenders. And they are targeting, as Yakuta said, targeting their character. They are often calling the man alcoholics, calling the women whore. I'm sorry for my language. But that's making them, attacking them. And then when they saw that really no one is reading this website, they start to create these fake social media accounts that's attacking the Sahrawi people. And it's calling the Sahrawi man. So Sultana was, as she said, together with her sister, are the first one who talk about rape. But let us be honest today, and we know how many women actually, they say they will take the story of their rape and sexual harassment to their grave. So art and maybe expressing this feeling via art and storytelling, that's the only way for women to talk about it. Yakuta, in your report, you talk about that there is no help after, there is no how to deal with the trauma, there is no, how they call it the last week for system care, yeah? There's no for women. So art that will help them for healing, most of all, but also letting their story to the world. How many minutes I still have? 3 minutes. Wow. So what else we can talk about? I am done. Yes.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.